Assalamualaikum and greeting everyone, especially to Dr. Muhammad Ismail. We are from Group 4. We'll be presenting on the Occupational Safety and Health OSH implementation in transportation industry. We consist of 5 members, which are Ahmad Ashraf, Ahmad Husni, Hilmy, Muhammad Fauzan, and I, Muhammad Hazim. I'll be presenting on the first part of this presentation, which is introduction. First, let us begin with the presentation outline. We will go through the project introduction, followed by facilities for occupational safety and health, types of hazards in Prasarana Malaysia, then emergency response procedure, and lastly, OSH management system. Prasarana Malaysia Berhad. Prasarana Malaysia Berhad is 100% government-owned company established in 1998. The new Prasarana structure includes the creation of 4 new entities, which are Rapid Rail Sendian Berhad, Rapid Bus Sendian Berhad, Prasarana Integrated Management and Engineering Services Sendian Berhad, known as PRIME, and Prasarana Integrated Development Sendian Berhad, which is also known as PRIDE. Prasarana is responsible in operating 3 light rail transit LRT network, which are Ampang Line, Sri Petani Line, and also Kelana Jaya Line. Then KL Monorail and Mass Rapid Transit MRT line. Prasarana also responsible to operate stage bus service in 5 states, which are Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, Penang, Perak, and also Pahang. When we talk about LRT, MRT, monorail, these public transport are also known to be operated by Rapid KL. Who owns Rapid KL? Rapid KL is a public transportation system owned by Prasarana Malaysia and operated by its subsidiaries Rapid Rail and Rapid Bus. Their mission is to increase the public transportation usage through reliable, affordable, proficient, integrated, and dynamic services on a sustainable basis. Right here is our organizational chart led by Ammar with 4 other members, which are Aziff, Hilmy, Fauzan, and I, Hazim. In order to complete this research project, we have divided the tasks accordingly. Our leader, Ammar, focused on the types of hazards in Prasarana Malaysia. Aziff focuses on the emergency response procedure, while Hilmy did on OSH management system. Fauzan identified the facilities for OSH, while I, Hazim, did on the introductions.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fauzan and I will be presenting on Part A, Facilities for Occupational Safety and Health that exist or should exist on the worksite. The first facility for occupational safety and health for Prasarana Malaysia Berhad is safety signage. Safety signs or graphics can play a vital role in ensuring a safe workplace. The signage will give information on the safety of the workplace for the workers and pedestrians who pass the working place. The next facility is personal protective equipment, PPE. The workers will need to wear and follow the personal protective equipment PPE guideline to ensure their safety while working on sites. The types of personal protective equipment that need to be wear are safety glasses, safety helmet, vest, gloves, earmuffs, and safety boots. The safety department will also do a PPE inspection on sites to check the workers on site if they are following the PPE guidelines. The third occupational safety and health facility that exists in Prasarana is fire protection equipment. Fire protection equipment like fire and smoke detection device, portable fire extinguishers, and fire extinguisher checklist was important to prevent fire hazard from happening at the workplace. The last facility is Safety Management System Checklist or SMS. Safety Management System Checklist is a guidance on the mandatory elements of a safety management system that is compliant with rail safety legislation. By following the Safety Management System Checklist, it can ensure the safety of workers and prevent hazard from happening at the workplace. That's all from me. Thank you. Continue to our next slide.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Muhammad Fauzi and my fellow friends. Today I'm going to present about what type of hazards that may occur in Prasarana and how are they avoided. Mechanical hazard is a hazard that involves the machinery and the users of the machine equipment. The employees often got injuries due to the failure of the manufacturing process carried out or the machine itself. The examples are the employee's hand got stuck by the drilling machine causing injuries, and the falling debris at Jalan Hululangat causing 1 foreign worker died while 4 were injured. The preventive procedure to prevent this hazard are the employees and the management must pay all the attention to identify the potential hazard at all the workplace area. Prasarana must provide the quality safety training to the workers, and the workers must be aware of the risks and follow the safety guidelines provided by management. The tools and equipment can be used is the workers must have a complete set of personal protective equipment (PPE) when working. Electricals and electronic hazard. Nowadays, the railway uses a system named signaling to direct railway traffic. There are also many components applied in the railway facilities and utilities. The common risk that always happen is when using this electrical system or while maintaining the electrical components. For example, 2 LRT trains were collided due to the miscommunication from the operation. Another one is when the doors of the train remain open while in operation. To prevent this accident to happen in future, Prasarana must enforce the law and provide equality training. The management must evaluate the procedure of operating the system. And lastly, Prasarana must do the inspection regularly regarding the workers' performance and the component condition. As for the tools and equipment, the management can provide the inspection outcome and listing to ensure the quality of inspection. And for the workers who work in the electrical room, always wearing a full set of PPE. And these are the photos from the train collided accidents. Fire and explosion hazard is caused by the materials that may potentially lead to the fire and explosion. As for this case study, the fire incident may happen in the station, trains, and rails. Example of accident: 2 braking failure incidents causing blaze fire and excessive smoke on the train. For the preventive procedure, the management must provide the evacuation plan for the passenger and the workers. The worker should be exposed to the training about the fire hazard, and the management must observe and inspect the condition of the trains and the station utilities regularly. For the tools and equipment, the Prasarana must ensure the facilities are provided with a complete set of fire detection and protection equipment. And this is the example of the equipment and tools for the fire and explosion hazard. The chemical hazard might occur due to the leaking of the chemical substances. Generally, the common chemical substances come from the hazardous material from maintenance operation. The chemical substances can lead to the immediate and long-term health. For the preventive procedure, the management need to identify the source of the leaking substances, and the management must enforce all the workers to follow the safety guideline and procedure. And lastly, the management must provide the safety training to the workers. As for the tools and equipment required, the workers must wear a complete set of PPE when entering the areas and handling the chemical substances. Lastly is physical hazard. Physical hazard is an agent, factor, or circumstance that can cause harm with contact. The workers might get the illness, sickness, and injuries if exposed to the variety of physical hazard in the workplace. For the preventive procedure, the employee should identify and report the hazard or any risk that is harmful to the supervisor and management. Prasarana must enforce all the workers to always follow the safety guidelines while working. For the tools and equipment, it is important to always wear full set of PPE while working in the harmful workplace.
Hi, I am Ahmad Aziff Ashraf and I will explain the emergency response procedure. When an emergency occurs, the workers will be notified via emergency commander. The emergency commander manages the site and reports to emergency manager and general manager, where they will assess the response required. If the emergency is in level 1, general manager will direct response, where the recovery operations will take place. Afterwards, the workers will return to normal operations. If the emergency is in level 2, the general manager will direct initial response and notifies administration as well. The administration and finance will manage the response and contact the secondary responder. Case 1. Mechanical hazards. In mechanical hazards, machinery and the use of powered or manually operated equipment are generally involved in these hazards. The 6 steps will be taken when the emergency occurs. Step 1. The person who is facing the accident or a nearby worker should press the emergency button. Step 2, all activities surrounding the incident must come to a halt immediately. Step 3, they need to notify the supervisor. Step 4, the supervisor will make contact with the site nearest first aid officer. Step 5, the injured worker will receive immediate first aid treatment from the first aid team. If necessary, the first aid team will call an ambulance. And step 6, the supervisor needs to fill out a confidential incident and injury report. Case 2, electrical hazards. Electrical hazards may cause electric shock, arc flash burn, thermal burn, or explosion that is resulting from a harmful condition such as contact or equipment failure. There are 6 steps that need to be taken if this emergency occurs. Step 1, they need to inform the supervisor and supervisor will call the emergency number. Step 2, while waiting for medical support, they need to turn off all the electrical sources if possible. Step 3, if it is not possible, they need to move the worker away from the electric source using a non-electrical conducting object. Step 4, they need to try preventing the injured person from becoming chilled. And step 5, they need to apply bandage and cover the burn area. And step 6, the supervisor needs to fill out a confidential incident and injury report. Case 3, fire and explosion hazards. Accidental fires and explosions can have severe consequences in terms of life loss, injuries, property and environmental damage, and also the company continuity. There are 7 steps that needs to be taken if this emergency occurs. Step 1, they need to turn on the alarm. Step 2, the supervisor needs to call the emergency number. Step 3, fire squad and first aid team will be ready to assist the workers to leave the site immediately to the assembly point. Step 4, they need to announce to all workers to evacuate safely from the incident location. Step 5, the workers need to do head count and report the missing person to the supervisor. Step 6, the first aid team will perform early first aid treatment to the injured person. And step 7, the supervisor needs to fill out a confidential incident and injury report. Case 4, chemical hazards. Chemical hazards may arise as a result of the improper handling procedures of the chemical compounds. There are 7 steps that needs to be taken if this emergency occurs. Step 1, the workers need to leave the area that are exposed to chemical. Step 2, the workers need to inform the supervisor about the situation. Step 3, the workers need to try not to breathe at the vapors spilled substance. Step 4, they need to alert other workers to evacuate from the area. Step 5, the supervisor needs to call the emergency number. Step 6, use safety shower or eye wash to rinse the hazardous chemical off. And step 7, the supervisor needs to fill out a confidential incident and injury report. Case 5, physical hazards. Physical hazards is one of the most common hazards that happens in the railway sector. There are 5 steps that needs to be taken if this emergency occurs. Step 1, the workers need to inform the supervisor immediately. Step 2, the site supervisor needs to turn on the emergency alarm and quickly evaluates the situation and identifies any further hazards that could arise. Step 3, the emergency response teams needs to conduct the emergency response plans. Step 4, the supervisor needs to call the emergency number. And step 5, they need to isolate the accident zone and move all non-affected personnel to a safe zone. This is the example of JKKP 6 form and JKKP 7 form.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Muhammad Hilmy bin Khairil Anuar and I will present about design the OSH management system. This is some of the daily and routine enforcements of OSH at site. The first one is toolbox meeting. Every week, before all the contractors enter the site, a toolbox meeting will be held. It is overseen by a professional engineer. The topic of the meeting includes the work that will be done on that day. Toolbox meeting is really important as it it says to the contractors about what the health and safety issues faced and what the work will be done on that day. The next one is PCR test or rapid antigen test. COVID-19 is still a serious disease that is spreading all around the world. It is easily transferable from one individual to another by air. Therefore, all the workers at the construction site should take the COVID-19 vaccine, and also the PCR or rapid antigen test should be done at least once a week to prevent the COVID-19 from spreading to the public. The third one is zero tolerance rules. It is a policy that should be followed by everybody in the site, including the workers and also the authorities. This is important as to make sure the safety of all individuals in the working site is ensured. Anybody that does not follow the zero tolerance rules should be penalized. The next one is permit worker. The permit worker is important as it is a document saying that the workers are not illegal immigrants and can legally work in our country. It is also to prevent them from going to jail if the immigration catch them. Next, we go on to the OSH document for quality management system. The Health and Safety Executive Management System of the Prasarana uses the best practices in managing a system in the workplace. Some of the practices include ISO 9001:2015 Quality Management System, ISO 14001 Environment Management System, ISO 18001 Occupational Health and Safety Management System, and lastly ISO 16949:2016 Automotive Quality Management System. It needs to demonstrate the ability to consistently provide products and services that meet customers and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. It aims customer satisfaction through the effective application of the system, including processes for improvement of the system and the assurance of conformity to customer and applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. Then we go on to the safety awareness and safety programs. There are many safety awareness and safety programs, but these are some of them. The first one is management leadership. The management provides the leadership, vision, and resources needed to implement an effective safety and health program. It is to make sure that, firstly, the worker safety and health a core organization value. Next, committed to eliminating hazards, protecting workers, and continuously improving safety and health on job sites. And lastly, to set an example through their own actions. The second program is worker participation. Workers have much to gain from a successful program and the most to lose if the program fails. They also often know the most about potential hazards associated with their jobs. Successful programs tap into this knowledge base. Worker participation means participation in establishing, operating, evaluating, and improving the safety and health program. Next, we go on to the safety procedure, or mainly the standard operating procedure, SOP. SOP is a technique for doing an activity in line with industry rules and standards that have been accepted by the industry. SOPs are often documents that describe the methods of the task or operations. There is no formal standard for creating an SOP, but there are several steps to be followed. As you can see from the picture beside, it shows the steps to be followed for an SOP to be done. And lastly, we go to the warning or emergency systems. This is the personal protective equipment or PPE that should be worn at the construction site. The first one is safety glasses, which is to protect the eyes from any dust or small materials. Next is safety helmet to protect the head against impact from objects falling from above. The third one is a construction vest to alert another human being is present in their field of vision. The fourth one is gloves to protect the hands. Fifth one is earmuffs to protect the ears from loud noises. And lastly, protective boots to protect the feet from sharp objects such as nails. That is all from me. Thank you and Assalamualaikum.